Hello, my dear friends. This is Ladare, and today I'm presenting something very interesting and special to you. This spread of cards, these are oracle cards from a marine deck. The deck depicts mermaids, and this spread is called the Starfish. So the Starfish spread is for many purposes. There are 5 cards, as you see in the star kind of order. And I'm going to read today for all of you. This is a collective reading. However, this is inspired by a couple of my very good patrons, supporters, and friends who have lost something. So different applies to different people, but there is one theme here that there was a financial loss. So something was lost. Maybe it was a job, maybe it was a partner, maybe it was a source of income. So there are several people who approached me recently with this kind of problem, that there was a loss. And it centers a lot around a lot of things, including trust, by the way, trust, okay, and relationships, but also there is a theme running through it, which is financial. And so this is summer in the northern hemisphere anyway. I know there are some people from the southern hemisphere here as well. Hello to you all. And in the northern hemisphere, of course, we have the summer. And the nautical theme with mermaids is very appropriate for the summer because, well, obviously everybody goes to the beach, right? And on vacation. And also mermaids, in lore and historically, they always represented longing for something better, for some better relationship, better life, for a different life perhaps. And this specific spread helps us understand what is at the core of the problem, of what helps, what doesn't help with this situation, what is the potential course of action, and what might be the outcome. If you don't like any explanations here or any cards that rub you the wrong way, that means that you need to take action to change that situation. So any of you who are listening to this, who have a situation where they are unhappy with it, especially when it concerns relationships, loneliness, by the way, that's very typical. Mermaids, they're always lonely, always long for legs, to go ashore, to find their prince perhaps, to change their life, to better their life somehow, to make it warmer, to make it better. And also financial situation. Water in feng shui means basically water is money, water is income, water is flow of wealth, prosperity, abundance to you. So anybody who is in a strain this way, or in terms of relationships, or in terms of anything else, it could be a job even, this is for you. But if you're doing great, this is still something to heed, because explanations here are food for thought. And so I'm going to start reading without further ado, and this is to honor a few of my very good patrons and clients who came to me and said that they lost something and they don't know what to do next. And of course, anybody who is ready and who needs my help, I have consultations. You go to ladare.com/consultations or tap on consultation tab on top and review all my consultations. The very first consultation is general advice, quantum calibrations. I can also do readings as part of that consultation, but I get to the bottom of the issue 1,000 levels deep that you didn't even know you had those issues. I am inviting you to explore all this, and you can get back to me. Information is all on consultations page on ladare.com. All right, without further ado, let's start with the reading. And I want you to listen to it no matter what, because this is food for thought. And so I'm going to start. We're going clockwise here, okay, in this starfish pattern. And I'm starting with the top card. The card number 1 represents the energy and or your feeling of the question that you're asking or the situation you're in. It is usually self-explanatory. If not, then it's revealing a deeper energy you may not be aware of at this moment. And so the first card, because I pulled them ahead of time so that not to waste time on that, specifically for that client and patron of mine. So the first card is acceptance. And this is very clear cut, in my opinion, because my advice to all those people, I mailed everybody who approached me with these situations, and I said, we are in a very tough transition time during the Great Earth Shift, where everything is shifting. Astrologically, also, many planets have changed signs or are about to change signs, and we are in August right now, so this is also the eclipse season, and it depends on your zodiac sign. What are you? You should determine what your sun, what your ascendant, and also moon sign as well. Ascendant, you need to know the exact time of your birth. For everything else, whether it's Venus sign, that's also important, but moon sign is important, and sun sign, of course, together with ascendant is very important, two of the most important ones. So if you determine that, you can also see what kind of transits are occurring. For example, one of the people for whom I did this spread, he is Aries. That's his sun sign. And by the way, incidentally, Pisces just changed into Aries. So there is a huge turmoil coming and huge change and huge, like where there was no clarity, now there will be clarity. Where there could be some explosive clash of water and fire, because water, Neptune and fire, Aries. And through this clash, steam occurs, and the situation he thinks he is in may be, so say he lost something, right? And this is harsh financially, but maybe that situation is for his benefit. Maybe something else is coming better. So accept this situation. Something is ending for everybody right now, whether it's good or bad. And you might have perceived it as a strain on you, but at the same time, you were unhappy with the situation you were in. You told me, right? And so anybody who is lamenting that the situation has changed, but they were unhappy with the previous situation, so the situation had to change to force you. See, we're in eclipse season. The last eclipse in Pisces is in the end of August, by the way, and so that is the ending. That's the final ending of something that was working before, and perhaps badly, and the universe is helping you get rid of the situation which was not good for you. So accept what happened. Now, the second card is potential course of action best suited to your current scenario. And this is a suggestion. This is not an order. And here is an extremely clear cut: decisions. You need to start making new decisions. You need to start progressing to new reality. How do you do that? By doing what? By researching, by applying your knowledge to this situation. If it's a job, go on interviews actively. Be positive, be proactive, be organized about this, make decisions. Applies to all of us, by the way. I'm also in the situation where I need to accept the current situation and make decisions for the future. I'm in the same situation, just very differently. Now, the third card exposes anything you need to be aware of. This could be negative, this could be positive, something that is detracting you from taking the right course of action might be very positive. And in this case, this is like a common theme with all the people who I had in mind who inspired this reading. This is a common theme with them. See what it says: feelings. Yes, feelings could be very beautiful. They could be very positive. They could be tender. In this case, all of you guys who I have talked to, all of you are negative about the situation. So you have a preponderance, overwhelm of negative feelings, which you should not be having. So you need to change your perspective. See how she's looking this way. Recognize, in other words, recognize the actual truth. Change your perspective from negative to positive in order to make the right decisions and to accept the situation as it is for reality that it is, and then forget about the past, move forward with decisions. You have to change your feelings. You have to change your perspective from negative to positive. You have to flip it. And again, I want to remind you that I talk all the time and help a lot of clients, private clients, at sladderay.com/consultations. And there are many clients who are very smart that I have, who are also patrons and students of mine, who understand the universe, who feel very deeply. Unfortunately, a lot of them oftentimes come to me starting at the very start with very negative emotions, because they're disappointed in this world, they're disappointed in humanity, they're disappointed in many other things. So sounds familiar? Okay, so if you have this disappointment, if you don't like where the world is heading, or your country is heading, or your neighborhood is heading, or say what leaders of your country, what kind of decisions they make, or if you are very sad about the wars that are happening, or it makes you feel depressed, basically during consultations, I am the kind of person, and I'm the kind of consultant and the kind of guide in this life for you, who helps you flip to the positive side, whatever negativity you're experiencing. I help you see the actual truth. I help you uncover the thorns and the hurts and the pains that are preventing you from moving forward. So this is consultations, guys. Now, that was card number 3. What is holding you back? The negative feelings. Okay. Now, in number 4 position, we have recognition, and that's very interesting because this position tells us an insight into the perspective of others in relation to your question. Even though you may not wish to act on this, it's always good to know how others might be feeling about you and or your situation. And recognition has several different meanings here. For some of you, it may mean that others see you and they understand you. Like, I recognize how you're feeling and what you're going through, right? With this situation, I recognize it and I'm trying to help you. So this card is actually very, very positive. Another meaning of this card for some of you will be recognizing your situation for what it is and recognizing that you need help from others. Okay? So it goes with acceptance and friendship. We will talk about that later. So instead of brewing in your own emotions and your own, let's just say, dark night of the soul, I would rather you recognize and see the world and see others who are willing to help you. So that's the second meaning of this card. And the third meaning is that some of you who have maybe lost their job or cannot find gainful employment, we have situations like that, or suddenly money dried up. You know what? Do not despair, because first of all, the world knows it, the universe knows it, and tries to match you with the best outcome. But because everything is shifting right now, a lot of people are confused about their own situation, thinking their own situation is bad. Believe you me, it's not bad. It is just shifting. Some people start panicking because they see shifts around. Like, for example, oil and gas are very expensive. Utilities are expensive. Gas stations, you go to fill up your car and you pay a lot more, etc., etc. There are all kinds of things like that. And leaders of countries, then they don't help because of how they act. And I'm talking mostly the West, the Middle East, perhaps. In part, we're not going to go into geopolitics here. That's what patreon.com/Ladare is for. Go there if you are interested in my insight predictions and quantum calibrations. But here, the recognition also can mean that those who can hire you if you say lost your job, or those who can help you, they recognize you. They understand how valuable you are if it's a job, or they understand that perhaps they're your friends. They understand that you need help. It depends on your situation. So recognition is actually a remarkable card in this position. What do others see? They recognize what is happening. They want to help you. And if it's your job we're talking about, or your gainful employment, or your business, others recognize how talented you are, how much you have to contribute. So don't despair, because you will find that gainful employment. And there's just go put yourself out there. Just put your best foot forward. Create the best resume. Create the portfolio. Whatever situation you're in. Some people need to create portfolio, curriculum vitae, resume, whatever you guys work with in your specific situation. Right? Your accomplishments, list them, and it will be recognized. Okay, so that's an extremely powerful card in this position. And the final card, which is this, is number 5, shows the potential outcome of your current situation. This potential is based on the preceding cards, which all need to be taken into account. And we have the card of friendship. And I think I already discussed that others see it, others see you. They recognize what you need, what you're going through. Some are willing to help, those who are friends. Others are willing to take a chance on you, maybe employ you if necessary. There's also money here. There is support. There are many things. So this is your outcome. You are not alone, in other words. You don't have to go through this alone. I have some people here who are inspiration for this reading, who think that they have to do everything by themselves. They have to figure it out by themselves. They cannot ask for help. This is the opposite situation. Here, you're literally told, please ask for help. Don't revel in despair by yourself. Don't sit in a dark space and mope. Instead, recognize the problem and let others see you, see your talents, and recognize your contribution, as well as understand that you need help. And friendship comes into this. You need help. Therefore, ask for it, because you do have friends. And that's all for this reading. I know I do readings very rarely. I do them oftentimes. I pull a card or two, and sometimes even more, from my clients during various consultations for additional confirmations, insight, etc. And I hope I will do more of those public readings like this one going forward. Guys, in order for me to know that you're interested in something like this, I need you to like, comment, and share. The more people look, the more people like, and the more people comment. Comments, turns out, are very important on YouTube and any social media to push content forward. So that's all for this one, and I will be talking to you soon. You have a good one. Bye-bye.